Hi guys, today we'll be solving the DD question, and in this question basically we have to find the subsequence of nums of length k that has the largest sum. When we say subsequence, it means that it doesn't has to be a contiguous uh, subarray, but it has to follow the same order which in the original array. So over here we have the example 3 3, which is uh, the index 2 and 3 at the end. Over here it's clearly visible that we are selecting the first element and then we're selecting the last two elements. Now we are selecting the first element because we have to find exactly three three elements in the subsequence. Over here we have to find just two elements, that's why we are taking 3 and 3. Over here k is equal to 2, so we are taking 3 and 4 since the sum is 7. So to solve this question, first we'll start what exactly is the problem. We have to find the largest sum. So for that we'll first find what are the max elements, the top k max elements. To find that, I think the best method is the priority queue. So let's start coding that. So over here I'll be defining a new class called pair because I want to store the element as well as its index, since while returning we want the elements in the same order as they were in the original array. So over here I'll define the class pair. Val is the value and then we'll have the index. Then I'll also define the constructor for this class. After defining the pair class, I can just finish writing my priority queue. This I don't think was an easy question. If someone's just starting to learn coding, no way they are going to know how to use a priority queue or how to use a tree map or how to write their own constructor function. Now I have used this constructor function because I want it to be a maxi. Priority queue by default uses a min heap. Why do I want a maxi? Because I want the largest sum. I want the top k elements whose sum is the largest. After defining this, I'm going to add all the elements in the priority queue. Over here, I'm going to use the pair class, and in the pair class, for initially we have the value, so this is going to be nums of I, and then I'm going to add the index, which is I. So now we have filled the priority queue. Now I'll initialize the new data structure that I've learned, tree map. It is like a hash map, but the keys are sorted. Why do I need the keys to be sorted? Since the indexes are sorted and I want to return the values in a sorted manner. That's why I'm using a tree map. If I were to not use a tree map, what I would have done is use a matrix in which I have the first element as a value and the second element as the index. after adding the top k elements, what I would have done is I would have sorted it based on the second value, that is the index. That would have given me the values in the sorted order, which I could have copied to my answer array and returned that. But I'm going to be using a tree map today. Now I'm going to select the top k elements, which I'm going to pull out of the priority queue. And I'm going to put them in the tree map according to, first will be the index because I want it in the sorted order, and the next will be the value. Now we have got this. Now I just need to fill the top k elements, which is all the elements in the map, to answer. Through iterate over the tree map, I'm going to iterate it similarly to a hash map, that is int key map.keyset. This will fetch me all the keys, and I'm just going to do I++. Now all I have to do is return answer. I hope I haven't done any syntax mistakes. Great. Another option would have been to use a boolean array instead of a tree map, where I select the top k elements, and since I have the index, I just mark it in the boolean array that okay, I selected this element, and then I iterate over it. If I have selected the element, I add it in the answer array. If I have not, I just continue, and then I simply return answer. Let's check if this gets submitted. Great. See you in the next video.